Good afternoon. I'll call to order this meeting of the Hennepin County Board of Commissioners on Tuesday, January 27, 2026. I'm Irene Fernando, Chair of the Board and District 2 Commissioner. I'm joined by District 1 Commissioner Jeff Lundy, District 3 Commissioner Marion Green, District 4 Commissioner Angela Conley, Vice Chair and District 5 Commissioner Debbie Gotel, District 6 Commissioner Heather Edelson, and District 7 Commissioner Kevin Anderson. Hennepin County acknowledges that the magnificent land and vibrant waterways from which our institutions benefit are located upon the cultural, spiritual, and indigenous homeland of the Dakota Oyate. Hennepin County calls attention to the Dakota people's ongoing connection to this special place. First on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Colleagues, as we approve the agenda, I'd entertain a motion to amend to move 9-0 from consent to appear right after this approval, so before item 3. I'll entertain that motion.
Second.
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioners Conley and Green. All those in favor of the agenda as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. So for members of the public, 9-0 out of consent has been moved, and we are now going to be, in a moment, we'll be moving and discussing it. 9-0 reads, denouncing the violent and unlawful actions by Immigration and Customs Enforcement in Hennepin County, offered by Commissioners Conley, Fernando, and Edelson. Colleagues, I distributed an R1. That's a revision to this. I'll move the R1. May I have a second, please? Thank you, Commissioner Edelson. So allow me a brief introduction of the R1, and then we'll open it up to colleagues. First, for those watching at home, the original language was unanimously passed out of committee on January 13. I thank co-authors Commissioner Conley and Commissioner Edelson, as well as all colleagues, for your care on behalf of residents and your steadfast defense of the Constitution. Since the item passed out of committee on January 13th, a vote of this current board meeting was always going to be needed to ratify that committee vote. It's given many things that have occurred from January 13th to present, as well as persistent misinformation. It is important that the R1 that has now been moved also includes what has occurred in our communities from January 13th to now. So the language originally had 10 whereas clauses, all of which sought to be factual for the purpose of providing context for the 6 resolving clauses. The R1, the revision before us, contains 22 whereas clauses, again, in an effort to document what Hennepin County has experienced during Operation Metro Surge here in January. In addition to the 6 original resolving clauses untouched, there is an additional clause in the R1 that recognizes the First Amendment and seeks to condemn the use of chemical irritants on peaceful protesters in the press. So I wanted to first just introduce the differences. Colleagues, you have both a clean version and a red line version, and we'll open the floor up, and Commissioner Conley, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In addition to my comments, when we first introduced this, I wanted to add more. Every day since we introduced this bar, there has been a lot of trauma and confusion and fear in our communities, and frankly, I'm very, very sick of it. And I'll be glad when ICE is gone from our communities. I think that the additional pieces to this resolution speak not only to my heart, but speak to what I see with my own eyes, speak to what my residents have called and told me specifically what they're feeling. I want to call out 2 pieces of this, and then I'll pass it along. But Alex Preddy was a ICU nurse at the VA hospital in District 4. His last documented words were, "Are you okay?" This is someone who dedicated his life and career to caring for people. I read that he wouldn't leave his house without his dogs. Neither will I. This is someone who is our neighbor and someone who has been viciously mischaracterized by the federal government. I also want to call out the resolving clause that reads that the Hennepin County Board of Commissioners recognizes the United States Constitution's First Amendment that protects freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition, and condemns the use of chemical irritants or less than lethal munitions as crowd dispersal tactics on peaceful protesters and press. I have a report that was done by the National Institutes of Health. The National Institutes of Health conducted a study on people that were exposed to tear gas, and it states 83% reported experiencing at least one of the outcomes of interest, including uterine cramping, 69%, early menstrual bleeding, 55%, breast tenderness, 30%, and delayed menstrual bleeding, 19%. Chemical agent exposure was significantly associated with higher odds of an adverse reproductive health outcome. What's happening in our communities is a public health crisis. It has long-term impacts, especially the use of chemical irritants, which I have seen being thrown at people regardless, just without warning, without anything. These are long-term impacts that are happening to people who would be future parents, future caregivers. They have devastating physical impacts on human beings in general, as per the National Institutes of Health. I am extraordinarily supportive of this bar, but also the calling out of this egregious use of chemical irritants on people, given the long-term public health impacts. Thank you.
Commissioner Edelson.
Thank you, Chair Fernando. Alex Preddy lost his life on Saturday, and I just want to focus on the things that thank you, actually, Commissioner Conley, for saying the great things that he's done. What was interesting is after Renee Good's death and after Alex Preddy's death, where they were killed on the streets, they were labeled immediately a domestic terrorist. And there was no investigation done. I do hope that we will have the BCA, and I know that there's been a lawsuit filed to make sure that the BCAA can actually do an independent investigation. With all officer-involved shootings in the state of Minnesota, it is common. It's not a political issue. It's common. That's just what you do. It's the best practice. And so things have gotten so political and the tension so high in our state. The trauma that's going on from kids to seniors to everyone in between is not good for us. And people don't have access to food. People don't have access to health care. Kids are scared to go to school. People are not going to work. This is any of it's not making us safer. And so with that, I thank you for bringing this bar. If anything, it may not make things better, but I think we are in a hopefully today and yesterday it felt like there was a shift. I hope with Tom Homer coming to our state that he will hear the trauma that we've all been through and our state has been through. So I hope that this is a step. And I continue to say that, not only should we be speaking out, but every city council member should be speaking out. Businesses have been speaking out. I was glad to see some of our larger businesses speaking out to some extent this past weekend. So we'll continue that pressure. And thank you, Chair Fernando, for leading this.
Commissioner Gotel.
Thank you. I just want to say that I actually appreciate this because this is a historic document. We are recording history. I'm actually going to have this put at the Hennepin History Museum after this, and I'm hoping that staff will continue to document these things and pass them on to our History Museum, because this is an awful, horrendous thing that has happened to our state, and we need to make sure it is well documented and that we don't forget what happened here. And that at some point in time, this will be displayed to other generations so they will see what happened at this moment in time. Everybody, the ICE is trampling our civil rights. That's clear and simple. They're going door to door. They're going through hospitals, churches, schools, preschools. They're closing our small businesses. The economic impact will be years to turn around, and people's lives may never totally turn around, especially those families that are torn apart and they've lost a loved one, especially a breadwinner here. And so I'm grateful for bringing this forward. I fully support it. I won't repeat all the great comments that my colleagues have already said.
Commissioner Green.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to the co-authors. So first, just a comment on the changes that were made and just to say that they're absolute no-brainers to include everything that was added. They, in and of themselves, are enough to blow a gasket. I wanted to just name a little bit about what's happening, the continued travesties in the community, the blatant disregard for the Constitution. I appreciate the discussion of chemical irritants. I want to draw everybody's eyes to a Star Tribune article that showed the different canisters being used based on things that they had picked up in the community. There were products that were known carcinogens. There are products that have been discontinued for use in the United States, which gave me no comfort because apparently we're still exporting this stuff. Anyway, and then further, the disregard for crime scene preservation. So we're all reading the same signals and hoping that there's going to be a calming and a change in the situation, but the ramifications of the sort of polluted crime scenes, just the complete lack of interest in charging ICE agents, that will be a long hangover from all of this, and I worry about it. I guess the headline is, I'm really glad that we're passing this, and it's an important, important statement. Thank you.
Commissioner Lundy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to thank the three who brought this forward for putting the work to put these words to paper, because sometimes they're difficult to do, and also just documenting the many different things. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, I would say, that we've seen, that we've received messages. I also want to highlight, the effects of ICE's behavior and activities. We have, in the suburbs, people not showing up for work. We have businesses closing. We have people not going to school. Even as they're American citizens. Why? Because they've seen people, stopped. We've seen a Brooklyn Park cop who happens to be Latina, who was pulled over and boxed in by ICE agents. Again, they pulled over a cop and they boxed her in simply because of her looks. It had nothing to do with anything else. And so, the racial profiling of just pulling people over, I have friends who have kids who are here studying, who are from abroad, who are worried, like they carry everything with them because they don't know if they're going to get pulled over, even though they're studying at our university. And so, the message that sends, that their fear, they don't want to go to class, and I don't blame them. I can't legally, tell them that, don't worry, right? Like I might tell my sons, don't worry about stuff, but I can't tell them that because frankly, I don't know. And so, highlighting that, I think the behavior, 22% of my district is foreign born. Many of the people who fled had governments that would just pull people over and they'd disappear, sometimes forever. They'd just be gone. And that's very similar, unfortunately, to what our federal government has decided to do in its enforcement of immigration law, and I wrongly enforce it. So they came here for a better life. I've not met a single person who says they come here for the handouts. They come here for opportunity. They come here for the freedom. When people around this world are being oppressed, and I think of the people in Iran, guess what flag they fly? It's the American flag, and there's a responsibility that comes with that. When people think of freedom, they don't think of what we've seen here. They think of people coming here to have a better life, and that's what I want all people to do. I just wanted to highlight, a couple things. One, very well documented this about the First Amendment rights. They are absolute. People have absolutely the right to speak freely, to speak against government, to protest against government. This is not Iran where they executed thousands of people, but still just the fact that they executed one is bad enough. I also want to highlight something that I think was wrongly portrayed in the media, is that Alex Preddy had legal right exercise his Second Amendment rights and was doing so in the responsibility that he had. So his rights were not only his denial of his right to live, but all his First Amendment and his Second Amendment, because he did everything right, despite what the government went out and told everybody. The fact is, you can do what he was doing. He did have everything properly done, and it was still used against him. And so that's a lesson to us all, that First and Second Amendment are not there for just the hell of it. They're there for a reason. They're there to be respected, and no one gets the privilege of taking those away, certainly not with a gunshot. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to just take a moment to highlight also that the administration's rationale at the beginning of all of this was to address criminals and illegal immigration for community safety. And I think if that were in fact what they were doing in terms of finding people who were a danger to our communities, I don't think that we would have a problem. That's not what happened. That's not what has been happening. And the way that they have approached their power has been an absolute disgrace. And Commissioner Edelson, you mentioned the hope that we have. There's a new tone coming about, but we cannot accept giving away our rights and our rights to due process that is afforded to every person in our community for an illusion of peace. Now, I want peace. I want us to be in a community that can exercise their rights to protest, to engage in government in a meaningful way. And we can do that. And Minnesota showed that we can do that. And I think it is a testament to the people in our communities showing up, not just in Minneapolis, but in small communities throughout the state and in suburbs, to say enough is enough. We need to get back to a place where the government is accountable to people and the government is there for service to the people. So I appreciate the work that went into bringing this together. And I think as long as we have leadership like we have in Minnesota, we will continue to be able to shine a light forward for so many more people and for others across the country. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for your thoughts. Like you, I am absolutely heartbroken for our communities, for our neighbors, and for the families of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, both killed at the age of 37. 37, just a couple years younger than me. I honor their humanity and acknowledge the deep pain felt by their loved ones and our community. They acted out of justice and compassion to aid their neighbors. They are heroes. May they rest in peace and power. The taxpayer-funded violence and harm we are experiencing is inhumane, unlawful, and unconstitutional. Racial profiling, detaining minors and children, overt and aggressive citizen checks to kids. I didn't have an ID at age 13. U.S. citizens detained with no counsel, no paperwork. And now 2 neighbors killed on video by federal agents. Video that exists because of the bravery of their neighbors. United States due process means that justice is pursued through legal action, credible investigation, and courts, not through guns, murder, and indiscriminate violence on our streets. But we must not look away. We must continue telling the truths we are seeing and experiencing here in Minnesota. It is heart-wrenching. During a time where the federal reality is cutting funds for food, healthcare, and housing, it seems as though these funds have been reallocated for kidnapping, violence, and family separation. Just think about that. Is that what taxpayers prefer to fund? I saw a report that said Operation Metro Surge costs $18 million per week. For reference, SNAP benefits paid to eligible Hennepin households was $3.6 million per week in 2025. I know these figures are not a one-for-one, but mathematically, that is 5 times the amount spent weekly on SNAP in all of Hennepin County for this so-called operation. Since it began in December, many of us have been calling out the overt lawlessness and racist practices of ICE and CBP, and we've been calling it unprecedented. Unprecedented is a word that is a hallmark of my time in governing from 2019 to present. With an absolute broken heart, I must assert that I don't think that this is unprecedented anymore. History shows us that these actions are key steps in a predictable playbook that decreases democracy and promotes authoritarianism, fascism, autocracy. Federal power and resources are being used to destroy our civil liberties, and we have 2 neighbors dead. What was manufactured as an immigration crisis was already hurtful for many people who are connected to immigrant communities. As a very proud child of immigrants, that was always tough, but the law and order and the paperwork, and we engaged with some amount of good faith. But this is just not justifiable in any manner anymore. I don't think it was then, and it really, really isn't now. What we're seeing, in my opinion, is not an accident. I'm seeing videos of aggressive federal agents in Maine and in Utah and all across the country. These are the steps that history books tell us are essential in degrading democracy and promoting fascism. I, like many of you, find myself stunned, completely stunned, in grief, in anger, in sadness, in disbelief. I find myself frozen, and I think it's because numbing is a tool of self-preservation in times of trauma and uncertainty and crisis. But together, through the inspiration of Minnesotans and neighbors all across our community, I believe that we can and must resist the urge to give in to this frozen numbness, because numbing our pain might also numb our shared humanity. And it's only through the collective wisdom in our bodies and ancestral storylines that we will get through to the other side of this. Authoritarianism thrives off of overt violence and redefining or twisting what is true. So today we are voting on an action that documents what Hennepin County residents can citably express as our experience here. And every single day, residents are taking courageous steps to document and speak their truths about what is happening in their lives. My understanding is that this is all on purpose, to sow pain that is so overt, so much anguish that our spirits are crushed, that we become defeated. But Minnesotans are not defeated, and Americans are not defeated, and every person who finds themselves in our geography and under our care are worthy human beings, and we are privileged to get to serve you. Over the weekend, there were 100,000 strong in Minnesota and double that across the country in solidarity towards justice. Authoritarianism is brittle and requires constant control. And together, people, not positions, not titles, not resolutions, the collection of people have something much more enduring than that. We have actions and courage and bravery rooted in love and care and leadership that is rooted in the expansiveness that comes from protecting and cultivating our shared humanity. So to all Minnesotans, residents, neighbors, our friends, family members, coworkers, and especially to our young people and itty-bitty children, I am very proud of our unrelenting courage, compassionate caregiving, and a fierce resilience towards justice. Our neighbors are stronger, more united, and more resolved than ever. Ultimately, I do believe that our shared humanity and love for one another will prevail. That only occurs when we arise with one another, leading with integrity caring for one another with dignity, governing with courage, and fighting for shared humanity without apology. The resolving clauses of this action direct just that this organization remains steadfastly in service to all of the people, workers, and community members who find themselves in our geography or in need of care and service. We remain with you, leading towards accountability and justice. And I look forward to ensuring that we live out the promise of this bar that we will very soon vote on. So with that, colleagues, if there's nothing further, I believe we will proceed to vote. For those watching at home, we moved 9-0 from the consent agenda up to right after the approval of the agenda. We passed an R1. That means there was a pretty significant revision. This is pretty hot off the presses, so it will be published likely after the meeting, so I do acknowledge that. But with that being, with the R1 of 9-0 before us, proceed to vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is number 3, which is Hennepin highlights.
This is not a public hearing, so why are we making this statement? Because 2 years ago, you all said you were going to shut down the herd. But you have not committed to setting a date, something you voted to do. People are dying.
On our agenda, we just completed, as amended, we just completed 9-0. 3 is Hennepin highlights, for which we have none listed. 4 is minutes from the previous meeting. 4A, the meetings from January 6, 2026. May I have a motion, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioners Anderson and Conley. Any notes or corrections on the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 5 is referral of correspondence and department communications. 5A through C are correspondence, and 5D to R are department communications. May I have a motion to accept and refer as recommended?
So move, Gotel.
Thank you, Commissioners Gotel and Lundy. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 6 is commendations, for which we have none, and 7 is Commissioner communications, and we have 2. The first is Human Trafficking and Exploitation Awareness Month, offered by Commissioner Edelson. Go ahead.
Thank you, Commissioner Fernando. January is Human Trafficking and Exploitation Awareness Month. Human trafficking is an issue that affects our entire community. It can happen to anyone, regardless of age, location, race, or gender identity. Human trafficking is the exploitation of a person through force, fraud, or coercion for labor or sex. It often involves manipulation, control, and survival. It is not a choice. In 2024, 83 cases of trafficking were identified in Minnesota, involving 133 victims. Hennepin County has the highest number of youth impacted by sexual exploitation in Minnesota. Hennepin County recognizes the importance of raising awareness about human trafficking and exploitation, promoting prevention strategies, and supporting survivors. Youth experiencing exploitation are not alone. A network of survivors and support services in Hennepin County is ready whenever help is needed. Hennepin County's No Wrong Door program supports youth at risk or of facing sexual exploitation, connecting them to resources including healthcare, counseling, emergency shelter, and case management. No Wrong Door's robust network of partners are committed to preventing youth exploitation, making a meaningful difference in the lives of survivors in our community. Last week, I, as well as several Commissioner Fernando, you were there, and several of our staff and county employees had the honor to attend the Walk to End Silence and Awareness event at the Mall of America in recognition of Human Trafficking and Exploitation Awareness Month, hosted by No Wrong Door. I know Tia is here. Shout out to Tia for doing such a great job with organizing. I walked alongside hundreds of community members, partners, and Hennepin County staff. It was really great to hear some of the youth that actually spoke as well. To uplift and show our support and to empower survivors and their families, Walk to End the Silence represents what is possible when communities come together to confront difficult realities with compassion. This is an issue I care deeply about on a personal level, but I'm also on the Hennepin County, I'm the Hennepin County liaison to No Wrong Door Advisory Committee. As a county leaders, we have a responsibility to support this work through continued partnership, investment, and accountability. That commitment extends beyond today and into policies, services, and systems we help shape. Human trafficking and exploitation thrive in silence. It was heartening to see so many residents and organizations join this to support the work. Thank you to everyone, including, I just want to, Lisa Bailey, I don't know where she is, maybe she's here, and then just Tia again, amazing job.
In addition to the shout out to the staff, just want to shout out to the youth advisory board. To have anything that is youth led and person centered, victim centered is just really, really incredible. So thank you, survivor centered. Commissioner Lundy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to thank Commissioner Adelson for bringing this forward. The irony is not lost on me, and I don't mean it's a good irony. We started building the first teen homeless shelter was built on the fact that there were girls that were being sex trafficked, and they were being threatened by people who were taking advantage of their status here in America. They were legally here, but they were not American citizens. And so people are using that, and sex trafficking and human trafficking only works when people have something on you that you have to fear more. So people would rather engage in whatever the trafficking, the sex trade, because it's considered less harmful than the alternative. And so just highlighting the role that, thank you, ICE and Border Protection for actually making it harder for these people who are in this status to come forward because they would rather remain in the hell that they have than go and be arrested. And so these things all play together. The exploitation victims play that, and especially when you look at how the trafficking rings work, it is based a lot of times on immigrants and their families because they are fearful of things being done to them, and that allows exploitation to take advantage of them. And so I want to thank you. I want to highlight those two things are connected. They are not better now due to the actions of ICE. They are actually going to be worse. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Absolutely. Thank you, Commissioner. We're still under number 7, Commissioner Communications. The second one we have is celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day and the National Day of Racial Healing offered by Commissioner Conley. Go
Thank
ahead.
you, Madam Chair. Yes, so last week, Monday, January 19th, was Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and the day after, January 20th, was the National Day of Racial Healing. It is very important for us to celebrate and recognize both of these days as an opportunity to bring all people together, reflect on our shared values, and create pathways to heal and recover from the effects of racism. On Martin Luther King Jr. Day, myself and my fellow commissioners attended the annual Twin Cities Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday Breakfast alongside other leaders and community members. Each year, this breakfast celebrates Dr. King and creates an imperative to live out his legacy today in our homes, our communities, and our world. The proceeds from the event benefit the UNCF Twin Cities to support local students of color to attend college. On Tuesday, Hennepin County co-hosted 2 virtual events for the National Day of Racial Health, one for government staff in the Twin Cities and surrounding areas, and the other for the greater Twin Cities metropolitan community. Both events featured two powerful local voices in the racial healing space. Minneapolis Council member and former mayor of Minneapolis, Betsy Hodges, and former Minnesota State Senator Mee Mua, both of whom have dedicated their post-public service careers to advancing racial equity and racial healing. The focus of these events was on why racial healing matters, why it's of importance, how communities can cultivate it, and what it looks like to move from conversation to real transformation. Thank you to the Outreach and Community Supports Department for your work with local city and county partners for putting on the event series. The legacy of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is one of humanity and love for one another in the face of outright immoral behavior. It will forever be our duty to uplift our shared humanity in all that we do, and especially because it is what is morally right and just. We are being called right now to carry this legacy every single day. Leaders, all of us, must put humanity at the forefront of policy and action for the people that we have been called to serve, especially in the face of dehumanization, cruelty, and authoritarianism. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is number 8, which is the claims register. We have 3 items, 8A is for the period ending January 9, 2026, 8B for January 16, 2026, and 8C is the claims register for the period ending January 23, 2026.
I move approval for the 3.
Second?
Thank you, Commissioners Green and Conley. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 9 is the consent agenda. These are items that would have passed unanimously out of committee. Since we've already voted on 9O, I'll take a motion for 9A to 9N, please.
Move approval.
Thank you, Commissioners Green and Anderson. Colleagues, anything that you'd like to highlight prior to voting? Hearing and seeing none, all is in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 10 are non-consent items. This would have passed out of committee, but not unanimously, for which we have none. 11 are progress items. These are items that would have progressed from committee to board without a vote, and we have several because of our annual Community Advisory Board designation. So I know there's a lot of notes and paperwork for this, so just, yes, everybody take your moment to collect that. Yes, Commissioner
11A
Patel,
and
please.
ask for a progress motion for item 11A. This is the appointments for Minnehaha watershed. There's a technicality.
Yes, absolutely. So there's a progress motion by Commissioner Gotel for 11A to our next board meeting, which would be on Thursday, February 12th. I'll second that. And may we bring that to a vote now, colleagues? All those in favor of progressing 11A, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That item is progressed. We'll move to 11B, and so let me just kind of explain this a little bit for those members of the public. We have community advisory boards, and at times we have more applicants than there are available spots. And the process by which we select members is not intuitive to residents. It's not intuitive to us either, quite frankly, but this is the method that we vote when complying with open meeting law and as a public governing body. And so there are several community advisory boards. We will go kind of board by board. If there are fewer applicants than available spots, we can vote by voice. If there are a number of these that sometimes it is appropriate for a slate, then we will move that slate and allow that commissioner to speak to that. And then for the remaining, with the assistance and support of our clerk, she will call one commissioner at a time, and we will name that individual that we are voting for. This is the first time that we are publishing that or publicly stating that. And if the appropriate number of votes prevails, then that resident is appointed. So just for a little bit of housekeeping, if you will. And with that,
Can I speak to them?
yes, I think speaks to all of them, right? Is that?
Well, at one of the times they come up, because to tell you the truth, this was a very difficult year.
This was, yeah,
So if I could just talk to the capital budgeting task force one, I sent my suggestions around. We do a lot of checking, fact checking, making sure people have been present, making sure they've been contributing. We've also been looking at their performance and other things. We've also been looking at the distribution by district and geographic location. But I'm going to tell you that we've never had, I don't think, this many people apply for the capital budgeting task force. I know that the first one on the list is an incumbent, and it has been asked that he's hugely valuable that he serve another term. But on the others, there are several people here because they were all so qualified. So I'm sorry, colleagues, I don't have a good suggestion, but you have lots to choose from. Every one of these people are qualified. I just want to say that. So whoever starts the bidding will go to.
So we're just gonna, we're gonna go one at a time and just try our best, everyone. So again, 11A, which is the 2026 Watershed Board applicants and appointments, has been progressed to the 12th. Now 11B is is for the Capital Budgeting Task Force. And for this one, we have 10 applicants for 2 at-large spots, and we will rely on our clerk to vote. So please go ahead, Mary Rose.
Commissioner Lundy,
Carol Vosberg.
Commissioner Green,
Greg Stika.
Commissioner Conley,
Greg Stika?
Commissioner Gotel,
Greg Stika.
Commissioner Edelson,
Greg Stika.
Commissioner Anderson,
Greg Stika.
Commissioner Fernando,
Greg Stika, who has attained a prevailing number of votes, and so congratulations to being appointed to the CBTF. We still have one more vacancy, and so when you're ready, we can begin.
Commissioner Green,
Carol Vosberg.
Commissioner Conley,
Carol Vosberg?
Commissioner Gotel,
Catherine Fleming.
Commissioner Edelson,
Carol Vosberg.
Commissioner Anderson,
Carol Vosberg.
Commissioner Lundy,
Carol Vosberg.
Commissioner Fernando.
Carol Vosberg, and congratulations to Carol for being appointed to the CBTF as well. That completes the 2 vacancies for CBTF, which is 11B on the agenda. I thank everybody for applying. We will now move to 11C, which is County Extension Committee, or University of Minnesota Extension.
Madam Chair, if I may just speak to this one. We
Commissioner
were
Patel.
looking at appointments that would be across districts that needed to be filled somewhat here. So some of that was some of the choices that you see on the choices of the 7 applicants and only 3 vacancies, to try to
Thank
balance
you.
things out.
Thank you. Yes, we have 3 vacancies and 7 applicants, and please go ahead, Maria Rose.
Commissioner Conley,
Dr. Palchak?
Commissioner Gotel,
Susan Palchuk.
Commissioner Edelson,
And we're on county extension, sorry, right?
Yes.
Chris Van Deelitz.
Commissioner Anderson,
Susan Palchik.
Commissioner Lundy,
Susan Palchik.
Commissioner Green,
Susan Palchik.
Commissioner Fernando.
Susan Palchik, and congratulations to Dr. Palchik for being appointed to the U of M Extension Committee. We still have 2 more vacancies, and so we will continue with the clerk's guidance to hopefully fill these 2.
Commissioner Gotel,
Chris Vanderlight,
Commissioner Edelson, Commissioner Anderson,
Chris Vanderlight.
Commissioner Lundy,
Chris Vanderlight.
Commissioner Green,
Chris Vanderlight.
Commissioner Conley,
Chris Vanderlight.
Commissioner Fernando.
Chris Vanderlight, and congratulations to Chris for being appointed to U of M Extension. We have 1 more vacancy.
Commissioner Edelson,
Dora Hart.
Commissioner Anderson,
Dora Hart.
Commissioner Lundy,
Dora Hart.
Commissioner Green,
Wajdi Al-Mofawak.
Commissioner Conley,
Dora Hart.
Commissioner Gotel,
Dora Hart,
Commissioner Fernando.
Dora Hart. Congratulations to Dora on your appointment, and we fulfilled the vacancies, and of course, thank you to all who applied. Colleagues, we are on to 11D, which is the Human Resources Board. For this body, we have 1 applicant for 2 at-large spots. So I would appreciate a motion to appoint Wajdi Al-Mawafaq to the HR Board.
So moved.
second.
Thank you, Commissioners Green and Gotel. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and congratulations to Wajdi. 11E is the Adult Mental Health Local Advisory Council. It is our past practice to have a slate proposed by our Health Chair, Commissioner Conley. Is that,
Yes.
so I'll hand the floor to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, as is customary, the Chair of our Public Health Committee will recommend a slate. I appreciate staff for helping to prepare this slate. And colleagues, I have passed out to you all the slate as it is, and I will read the recommendations. The 5 applicants are Brian Edwards of District 1 and Donna Rapace from District 7 for the 2 consumer vacancies. Lila Zamar, District 4 for the single at-large vacancy. Louis McKinley, District 7 for the single family member vacancy. And Najeen Imani Simone, District 7 for the single provider vacancy. Thank you.
I'll move this slate.
A second.
Okay, thank you, Commissioners Gotel and Anderson. With the slate before us, colleagues, are we prepared to voice vote? All those in favor of the slate, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 11F is the Library Board. We have 20 applicants for 5 at-large spots. In the past, we have done this 1 at a time. Are we prepared to do that today, colleagues?
You know, if that's the wish of the board, I just want to let them know that Jessica Kraft is currently in an executive position as one of the incumbents to be elected, just so people have that. I'm sure they've got it somewhere in their notes as well.
Okay.
That's the only note
Yep.
I have. Otherwise, we can just go.
Wonderful. Thank you, Commissioner Gotel. With that, Ms. Rose.
Commissioner Anderson,
Jessica Kraft.
Commissioner Lundy,
Jessica Kraft.
Commissioner Green,
Jessica Kraft.
Commissioner Conley,
Jessica Kraft?
Commissioner Gotel,
Jessica Kraft.
Commissioner Edelson,
Jessica Kraft.
Commissioner Fernando.
Jessica Kraft, and congratulations on your reappointment. We still have 4 vacancies, and so we are ready when you are.
Commissioner Lundy,
Ashley Cron.
Commissioner Green,
Ashley Crone.
Commissioner Conley,
Ashley Crone?
Commissioner Gotel,
Ashley Crone.
Commissioner Edelson,
Ashley Crone.
Commissioner Anderson,
Ashley Crone.
Commissioner Fernando.
Ashley Crone, and congratulations to Ashley for being appointed to the library board. We have 3 vacancies still.
Commissioner Green,
Mary Newstrom.
Commissioner Conley,
Dr. Rebecca Lowen?
Commissioner Gotel,
Dr. Rebecca Lowen.
Commissioner Edelson,
Dr. Rebecca Lowen.
Commissioner Anderson,
Rebecca Lowen.
Commissioner Lundy,
Rebecca Lowen.
Commissioner Fernando.
Rebecca Lowen, congratulations on your appointment to the library board. We have 2 more vacancies.
Commissioner Conley,
Michael Sorensen?
Commissioner Gotel,
Kim Kang.
Commissioner Edelson,
Michael Sorensen.
Commissioner Anderson,
Kim Kang.
Commissioner Lundy,
Kim Kang.
Commissioner Green,
Kim Kang.
Commissioner Fernando.
Kim Kang. Congratulations to Kim for being appointed to the library board. And for our last vacancy,
Commissioner Gotel,
Michael Sorensen.
Commissioner Edelson,
Michael Sorensen.
Commissioner Anderson,
Michael Sorensen.
Commissioner Lundy,
Michael Sorensen.
Commissioner Green,
Michael Sorensen.
Commissioner Conley,
Michael Sorensen?
Commissioner Fernando.
Michael Sorensen, and congratulations to Mike for your appointment to the library board, and thank you to all the applicants. So colleagues, we are now at 11G, which is the Race Equity Advisory Council. We have 6 applicants for 8 at-large spots. If it pleases the body, we could appoint all 6 applicants to the REAC verbally. May I have a motion?
I'll move the slate.
Second the slate.
Thank you, Commissioners Edelson and Cotel. The applicants are Kalandra Revering, Creston Gackle, Ibrahim Owalabi, Lindsay Pluger, Pauletta Salazar, and Yaba Gobana. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The slate is approved, and thank you all for your service to the REAC. 11H is the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act Board. Colleagues, you'll note that there are a few sections, but I believe we can do all of this verbally. So the first is the community-based organization section. We have one applicant for one spot. May I have a motion to appoint Kelsey Rogness?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioners Anderson and Green. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations to Kelsey. Next is the private sector business section. We have one applicant for 4 spots. May I have a motion to appoint Rebecca Stearns?
So moved. Gotell.
Thank you, Commissioners Gotel and Conley. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and congratulations to Rebecca. And then we have the organized labor organization section where we have one applicant for one spot. May I have a motion to appoint Kim Schrupp?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioners Anderson and Green. I'll note that this vote requires a supermajority to be reappointed. With a motion and second, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So that completes 11H. So I believe we're on to 11I, which is the Birth Justice Community Advisory Board. This one is similar. We have 5 applicants for 13 at-large spots. If it pleases the body, we could verbally appoint all 5 applicants. And
I'll move that slate.
Thank you, Commissioners Gotel and Conley. So that would be Austin Fala, Kevin Alondes, Naomi Abraham, Rachel Voigt, and Yaba Gobana. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. With a motion and second, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and we've also made 5 appointments to the inaugural, or, first year for our Birth Justice Community Advisory Board. So colleagues, those are our progressed items. Did I miss anything? Did we do that correctly?
That's all.
Just, Madam Chair, may I
Yes,
say,
please,
I'm
please.
going to ask the clerk's office, we do have vacancies still that we would go out again and advertise to see if we could fill some of those vacancies. I know I will work hard to look, I have some folks that I'd like to see on this Birth Justice Community Board, and I will be happy to try to, I'm sure we all will up here at the dais to find really great qualified people to step up on this new board.
Absolutely, yes. So we still have, first off, we thank everybody for applying and for participating in this, contributing to our civic, your civic duty through this way. We will get an update on how many vacancies, make sure that we are still promoting it. And thank you for that reminder, Commissioner Gotel. So back to the agenda. 12 is old business, which would have been items that this board has seen previously and were laid over to today, for which we have none. And 13 on the agenda is immediate approvals, and we have several. We will just go, for the most part, one at a time. Colleagues, 13A and B are immediate approvals, but these are very routine items. If it pleases the body, we can approve both, and I can read them into the record. Yeah, 13A and B.
Moved.
Second.
13A and B are moved by Commissioners Conley and Gotel. 13A is the bid award for Bridge Tower, which does business as finance and commerce for publication of official matter with Hennepin County. The period is January 1, 26 to December 31, 2026, with a not to exceed of $200,000. And 13B is an award to ECM publishers for publication of the 2025 financial statements in a publication with circulation in the southern suburbs with an amount of $2,000. Both of those are before us. Colleagues, any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 13C is to award a contract to Riling Construction Company, Inc. for the City Hall and Public Safety Facility Jail Finishes and Upgrades Project. This is for a little over $6.9 million. May I have a motion, please? Thank you, Commissioners Edelson and Conley. Ms. Wetland.
Chair Fernando, Commissioners, consistent with county purchasing rules, this item is before you to award a bid to Riley Construction Company for upgrades and remodeling to county spaces at City Hall and in our public safety facility. The work is part of an approved capital project that is included in our 5-year capital improvement plan. Christy Duffy, Operations Director with Facility Services, is here to provide details if needed.
Thank you, colleagues. Is there discussion for item 13C? Question or discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 13D is to award a contract with Tyzak Concrete LLC for accessibility improvements along various county roads. The amount is $994,000. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioners Gotell and Anderson. Ms. Wetland.
Chair Fernando, Commissioners, consistent with county purchasing rules, this item is before you to award a bid to Tyzak Concrete LLC for accessibility improvements along various county roads. The work supports the county's Americans with Disabilities Act Transportation Plan. Jessa Trebojevic with Transportation Project Deliveries here to provide additional details.
Welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. I'm Jessa Trebojevic with Transportation Project Delivery. Today I'm requesting contract award for accessibility improvements planned in conjunction with our pavement preservation program across the county, including along Old Shakopee Road in Bloomington, Bass Lake Road in Brooklyn Center, York Avenue in Edina, and Manitou Road in Tonka Bay. Staff is recommending contract award to Tyzak Concrete, who was the lowest bidder. This work supports the county's Americans with Disabilities Act transition plan by improving accessibility for all people who travel along the corridors. Thank you. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Go ahead, Commissioner Ellison.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for that. I'm wondering if you have a list of like priority on how you're going about doing it. I'm going to all my city councils, and I need to make sure they know about all the things like Tonka Bay, super helpful. But do you have upcoming projects, and is there a list, just so I would be able to have access to that?
Certainly. Commissioner Fernando, Commissioner Edelson, we do have a map that shows all of the work that we have going on across the county, and that would include our ADA work as well, and we can provide that to you as you go meet with your cities.
Further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries and 13D is approved. 13E is to establish a meeting with the County Board of Hennepin Health on February 11, 2026, beginning at 1 p.m. I'll move this. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Anderson. This is very self-explanatory, colleagues. All those in favor of establishing a meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 13F is always a very heartwarming one. Use of the Hennepin County Government Center Skyway Level and Bridges 8, 14, Bridges 8, 14, and 17 for Valentine's Day weddings to be held on Friday, February 13th, 2026. May I have a motion, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioners Green and Gotell. Ms. Wetland, would you like to speak to this?
Chair Fernando, Commissioners, item 13F grants use of the Government Center Skyway level as well as certain bridge floors to perform the free Valentine's marriage ceremonies over the noon hour. This will be the 12th annual event, and there are representatives here from Facility Services, Christy Duffy, and District Court Communication, Matt Lehman, if you have any questions.
Colleagues, any questions? It is a very heartwarming event. It definitely encourage people to walk around and just see families very happy. It's absolutely wonderful. All those in favor of 13F, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 13G is an amendment to an agreement with DHS for Ryan White Program Part B HIV/AIDS services. The period is April 1, 2024 to June 30, 2026. This is a $597,000 receivable.
I move approval.
Thank you, Commissioner Green. I'll second it. Ms. Wetland.
Chair Fernando, Commissioners, our current Public Health Director, Sarah Hall, is here and can answer questions and provide background.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Commissioners. This agreement originally provided $1.5+ million to Hennepin County to deliver Ryan White HIV/AIDS Program Part B HIV care, core medical and support services to low-income people living with HIV in the metro area, which is 13 counties. DHS is updating their contract dates to align with the state fiscal year. Therefore, the current contract is being extended through June 30th of this year. The additional $597,000 was awarded to fund the extended contract period of April 1st to June 30th of 2026. And this money will be distributed to existing subrecipient contracts, and the remaining funds will cover administrative costs incurred to manage the Part B funded contracts to support Minnesota Council for HIV and AIDS care and prevention.
Thank you. Any discussion, colleagues? Seeing none, all those in favor of 13G, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Maybe not walk too far. 13H is to approve the appointment of Sarah Hawley to the unclassified position of Assistant County Administrator of Health, effective February 9, 2026. Affirm that Sarah Hawley will continue to serve as Hennepin County Community Health Services Administrator and Director of Public Health per her prior appointments to those positions. May I have a motion, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioners Conley and Cotel. Ms. Wetland.
Chair Fernando, Commissioners, so this is one of two appointments coming your way today that I have the privilege and honor to bring forward. So I am pleased to offer this item for your consideration. Board Action 26-0053 requests the appointment of Sarah Hawley to the unclassified position of Assistant County Administrator over the health line of business. As you know, Ms. Hawley is currently Hennepin County's Public Health Director. She has more than 20 years of experience in public health leadership and administration, with a strong record of advancing racial and health equity. Her expertise in policy development, cross-sector collaboration positions her in driving innovation and eliminate disparities in health services across Hennepin County. It's worth noting that Ms. Hawley will continue in her statutory role as the Community Health Services Administrator and as the Public Health Director. I had the privilege of asking for this, supporting this appointment for Ms. Hawley to be our Public Health Director, and I'm very thrilled that you're entertaining appointment of her as your Assistant County Administrator of Health.
Incredible. Discussion, any discussion before we vote and we ask for a very long and wonderful speech? So with 13H before us, colleagues, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and congratulations to our newly appointed ACA of Health. Please, Ms. Hawley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll try to keep it short, but thank you for the opportunity to speak. Again, good afternoon, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Administrator Wetland, Deputy County Administrators Murphy and Rogan, and colleagues and residents. I'm so honored to be selected as Hennepin County's Assistant County Administrator for Health. It's been a joy to serve as the Director of Hennepin County Public Health since June of 2024, the best local public health department in the state of Minnesota. My passion for the health and well-being of our community is lifelong and embedded in my lived experience. At an early age, I wondered how I would impact the health of my community. When I witnessed family members navigating chronic health conditions, the complicated health systems that were not created for all people, and the continued disparities my own community faced with growing needs in health, housing, income, and justice. This is all tied to how health impacts every part of our lived experience. My vision for health in Hennepin County is one that centers equity, humanity, and care. In my time with Hennepin County, I've seen both remarkable challenges and opportunities we face to make sure all residents can achieve good health. And across all these departments, I've seen the dedication to addressing racism as a public health crisis and commitment to eliminating disparities. In this role, I commit to bringing these departments together to advance this critically important work by coordinating efforts and bringing together our collective expertise and talent. We can make a bigger difference and greater progress towards those goals. During these unthinkable and tragic times, we must not lose sight of how we continue to remain focused on healing and well-being of people. Health is a human right. That includes having the freedom to live in a just society. I want to thank my family and village for supporting me every day to serve our community. They put up with a lot of long hours, but my commitment to this community, they've supported this for many years. And I want to thank you all for this opportunity and thank the incredible staff in leadership in the health line of business and in the human services line of business in the entire county for your commitment, for their commitment to serving our residents. Thank you for this appointment.
Congratulations, ACA Holly. Next on the agenda is 13I, which is to approve the appointment of David Hewitt to the unclassified position of Assistant County Administrator of Human Services, effective February 9, 2026. May I have a motion, please? Thank you, Commissioners Anderson and Conley. Ms. Wetland.
Chair Fernando, Commissioners, again, I am pleased to offer this item for your consideration. Board Action 26-0054 requests the appointment of David Hewitt to the unclassified position of Assistant County Administrator over the Human Services line of business. Mr. Hewitt currently serves as the Director of Housing Stability and Human Services. He has over 20 years of experience in the nonprofit and the public sectors. In his current role, he has focused on elevating the voices of people with lived experience of homelessness and developed and implemented the county's strategy for making homelessness rare, brief, and non-recurring. Under his leadership, the county has achieved measurable results, including a 33% reduction in unsheltered homelessness locally since 2020, and the federal designation of having effectively ended veterans' homelessness in 2024. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I know we're all just excited. Any discussion before David's long speech also? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor of 13I, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations to ACA Hewitt.
Thank you so much, Chair Fernando, Commissioners. It's a huge honor, privilege to be able to serve in this capacity, as it's been a huge honor and privilege to be able to serve and support our efforts around ending homelessness, making homelessness rare, brief, and non-recurring these last 9 and a bit years. And you've seen me up here a few times before in that time. I'll be honest, those are a little bit more comfortable to me, where I got to come up here and talk about the work and talk about elevating the voice of people with lived experience and uplift the work of the team, than today, where I'm supposed to talk a little bit about myself, but I'll persevere, I'll push forward. As Commissioner Wentland noted, yeah, my public service background goes back a little bit longer than my time here. Actually, January 2002, I took a 6-month entry-level job with a homelessness nonprofit in London. I don't remember the exact date, so for poetic license, let's say it was 24 years ago today. And at the time, I know I had this very strong feeling that there was a failure of compassion in our community around these issues that I cared about greatly, around mental health, around substance abuse, around alcohol abuse, and I really wanted to sort of put my shoulder to that work. And in many ways, the last 24 years, that's kind of what I've been trying to do, is sort of channel and convert compassion and kindness into effective public service. And I've been really grateful for the opportunity to serve my community in the Whittier neighborhood this last decade, and you heard some of the work that we've been involved in and that I've been privileged to be a part of. Commissioner Gotel earlier, you talked about how we kind of still live in history. I've produced this before, but I've been carrying it in this folder for many years, and it has a copy of a contract from March 17th, 2020, the last in-person board meeting before we were all sent home for the pandemic, when we signed the contract with a hotel and started bringing seniors and those who are at highest risk from the pandemic out of congregate spaces to keep them safe. So I've been carrying that around with me. I'm proud of the work that we were able to do then and through other really challenging moments, and clearly we are in one of those moments right now. And I'm just really grateful for the opportunity to serve our community in this moment as well, and look forward to working with you all in this new capacity. Thank you.
Congratulations to ACA's Holly and Hewitt. Very fun to say. We're on to 13J of the agenda, an agreement with Ballard Spar LLP Attorneys at Law for legal services with a not to exceed of $250,000. I'll move this. May I have a second? Second. Thank you, Commissioner Edelson. Ms. Wetland.
Chair Fernando, Commissioners, item 13J is related to our discussion during this morning's closed legal briefing. Deputy County Administrator Dan Rogan can provide more information if you would like.
Welcome.
Madam Chair, on January 20th, a subpoena to testify before a grand jury was addressed to the custodian of records for the Hennepin County Board of Commissioners. It was delivered to our Chief Compliance Officer. The subpoena was issued by federal court and requested of the United States Attorney for the District of Minnesota as part of a federal grand jury criminal proceeding. The subpoena contains 8 separate requests, all of which relate to federal immigration enforcement and the county board's directions and communications associated with responding to that enforcement. This subpoena is similar to others that have been served on the City of Minneapolis, the Mayor's Office, Ramsey County, and the Governor's Office and the Attorney General's Office. Minnesota law permits the county board to pay for criminal defense for individuals when there is an item that arises as a result of the work that they are doing. Because the U.S. Department of Justice has opened a criminal investigation that appears to be brought against county officials arising out of the performance of their duties, including the 7 of you, state law authorizes this contract to go forward. I'll stand for any questions.
Thank you. Discussion, colleagues? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor of 13J, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 13K is the last item on our agenda, and it is celebrating and honoring Black History Month, offered by Commissioner Angela Conley. Would you like to move it?
I will move it.
I will second it, and go ahead, Commissioner.
Thank you. So February is coming, and February is Black History Month. This month is an intentional time to learn about Black history in America and Hennepin County and celebrate Black excellence and contributions in our country. This year marks 50 years since the creation of Black History Month and 100 years since Black history was first commemorated nationally. So it is fitting that this year's national theme is a century of Black history commemorations, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention the history we just made today with the appointment of Sarah Holley as the first Black woman to hold an ACA position with Hennepin County. I will ask the clerk to read the proclamation, and then I'll have some words to say afterwards.
Whereas in 1925, Carter G. Woodson founded the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History and conceived and announced Negro History Week to be celebrated during the week encompassing the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass in February 1926. And whereas in 1976, then-President Gerald R. Ford expanded the celebration to a month and urged Americans to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every endeavor throughout our history. And whereas the consequences of historical disinvestment of Black communities in Hennepin County must be acknowledged, and the reparation of these harms centered in the work of the county across all lines of business. And whereas repairing harm that has deeply impacted Black residents is in alignment with Hennepin County's declaration of racism as a public health crisis. And whereas we understand that by addressing with intention the complex legacy of suppression and discrimination in housing, healthcare, child protection, education, criminal justice, and economic mobility, we build a better tomorrow for the next generation of Black residents. And whereas all Hennepin County students, educators, and residents should know the rich history and contributions of Black people in Hennepin County, we're dedicating ourselves to nurturing a bright future for our Black students and residents. Be it resolved that the Hennepin County Board of Commissioners hereby proclaims February as National Black History Month to recognize the amazing and everlasting efforts and accomplishments of Black descendants of the African diaspora in Hennepin County, Minnesota, and the United States of America.
Thank you, Ms. Rose. Celebrating Black history in Hennepin County is important because Black history is American history, and we honor the history of our contributions to this country on so many levels. As I mentioned earlier, the 2026 national theme is a century of Black history commemorations. The founders of Black History Month urge us to recognize this theme by exploring the impact and meaning of commemorating Black history and life and the role it has played in transforming the status of Black people in the modern world. In addition to this proclamation, the Lowry Avenue Bridge will be lit up red, black, gold, and green on February 1st in recognition of Black History Month. Thank you.
Thank you. Colleagues, any additional comments before we vote? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and February is officially proclaimed National Black History Month in Hennepin County. That was the last item on our agenda, so a motion to adjourn is in order.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioners Green and Gotel. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned, but don't go too far. We have a brief meeting of the Hennepin County Railroad Authority.
Good afternoon, everybody. Call to order this meeting of the Hennepin County Regional Railroad Authority. Today's Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. The first item on our agenda is to approve the agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Conley, seconded by Commissioner Fernando. Any edits or changes suggested? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, our agenda is approved. The first item of business is item 2A specifically is our meeting minutes from January 6, 2026. I will move approval. Is there a second? Second. A second from Commissioner Lundy. Any notes or edits? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, the minutes are approved. We have no claims registers today, and under Section 4, we have 4A, an item for new business. It's to consent to an assignment of lease granting Minnetonka Industrial Portfolio LLC permission to assign a lease agreement to UP Minco LLC for rental of Rail Authority property in Minnetonka. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
A motion from Commissioner Lundy and a second from Commissioner Fernando. Ms. Cerny, if you could share a recap.
Chair Green and Commissioners, the request before you is consent to assign the lease from the current owner to a new future owner. The lease originated in 2002. The new assignment of this lease would extend through February 2028, 2029, include rent payment of $3,923 per year, and either party may terminate within 90 days notice.
Thank you so much. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, that item is approved. Seeing no further items on our agenda or brought today, I will call us adjourned.